But let's have a quick look then at the grid for Minimax, as they will be lining up on the dummy grid in just a moment. So Stephen Duncan and Harry Linden, they will be your front row, the 16 and the GP plate. Ben Crosley and Mackenzie Douglas, they're row 2. Finn Smith and Harrison Crowther, they are row 3. Then it's Bryn Collins and Jai Lawrence on the 4th row of the grid. Chloe Chong and Finley Watson on the 5th row. Pearson Bullock Carter and Aaron Full on row 6. Cruz Speakman and Mason Perrin on row 7. Rounding out the grid, Alfie Gallagher for the 14 plate of KR Sport, starting at the back of the grid. So from that shot, again, the clouds look all right there, but apparently there's word in the air of rain in the air. So we'll have to keep an eye on that one. What are these drivers going for? So they're not worried that the rain's going to come in this race because they're all running slicks. So obviously the track is dry, so why would you go out on wets? But it could happen halfway through this race. Back from his antics, running around, searching for drivers frantically. Could you spot any dark clouds in the sky? Okay.
I mean, I wasn't really focusing on the clouds because I was focusing on where the number 8 Kart was. But yeah, great driving from everyone in the Honda Cadets. It does look like it's getting a bit gloomy in the air. There's not as much sunshine now. Well, there isn't any sunshine now. But the clouds are starting to pull over the track. But will it start to rain? I don't think so.
Yeah, no, not too sure, but the wind definitely picking up. I'm kind of looking out all the windows. I can see it looks a bit gloomy over there as well. As more to the northeast where it's coming from, but we'll have to see. But making their way out onto the track is Minimax. Of course, already gone through the grid, starting on pole. Steve Duncan and Harry Linden. So they're on the front row. The GP plate in the number 16, Vision Motorsports and Dan Holland Racing. They're going to be starting on the front row, and again, just trying to see how the front of the race goes, because you know that everyone's trying to dive to that inside line. You know, we're saying that'd be the better line. I was speaking to some other drivers, and some saying that they prefer the outside line, because they say you can really swing the kart in, of course, if the track's cleared. And I think after what we've seen today with the amount of karts going wide, I suspect there is probably no marbles on the outside of that corner. But we'll see how the race start goes this time. We're definitely not going green this time, are we?
I don't know what's going on there.
No, it's I think they wanted an extra lap, didn't they? So
it looks like it.
They deliberately did that for an extra lap, didn't they? Let's see how it looks like they did do that. I'd probably do the same if it was me. I'd be like, my tyres are far too cold. I'm going to start racing now. Let's go for another lap.
Just put your foot down way too early.
Yeah, let's go for another lap. So hopefully they all concertina up this time, and we get this race underway.
Yep.
A few races to go for round 2 of the Rotax and Honda Cadets. So we've seen the Honda Cadets already out now for their finals, so it's Rotax now for the rest of the day. We've got Minimax, Rotax 177, Senior Road, yeah, seniors. So it should be exciting all the way through, but Minimax then race 20 of the day, the final for Minimax as they're coming around now the horseshoe in towards the final corner of Paddock Bend onto the start-finish straight. We're looking like we're going for a race start this time around as they exit the final corner into the tram lines. Green flag is out and we're racing. 15 minutes plus 1 additional lap. The top 4 already breaking away, squirreling under braking through the corner. A good start still from all as they managed to get round. And that's a cracking start from the entire field round turn 1. So it still looks like Stephen Duncan leading the way. Harry Linden, the GP plate. Yeah, there was a yellow flag. Oh, who's gone off there? There was 3 of them. The 28, the 12 that I can see there. So the 12, Brian Collins, Jay Lawrence as well. The 28, so a disaster for them, but still up here at the front. GP plate there under pressure. Harry Linden there moving down into second place. No, so he's moved back up into second place. He was down into third as they went through turn 1, but has managed to close that gap back up again. So actually, is he in the lead now?
I don't think he's in the lead.
No, he is in second place. Yeah, the first place car was just out of shot, so that's why it was slightly confusing me. There we go, as they go through. So good first lap then, cross the line. That will confirm Stephen Duncan leading the way from Harry Linden, then Ben Crosley, Mackenzie Douglas, then Harrison Crowther, Finn Smith, Aaron Full, Mason Perrin and Cruz Speakman. That's the top 9. Alfie Gallagher rounding out the top 10 as they go through. And again, good start from all the drivers though.
Yeah, very good start from all the drivers throughout the field, especially Stephen Duncan taking an early lead and also building a little bit of a gap over the GP plate of Harry Linden behind. And that is a technical flag for Lawrence, the number 28. That does mean that he is going to have to retire into the pits or face a black flag, as we saw earlier.
Yes, we don't want to see another one of those again. Yeah, but Johnny Lawrence there, that will be for, of course, the contact that we didn't see or just missed through turn number 1, unfortunately. So, yeah, disaster then for Johnny Lawrence as a retirement earlier on for Project 1 Racing. But back here at the front, 2 laps in, Stephen Duncan leading the way by a bit of a gap. Then we've got this train of 5 karts. Linden, Crosley, Douglas, Crowther and Smith. So the top 6, breaking away. Then it's Aaron Full. Had a disaster earlier on with retirement. Now coming back. So great run days at 5 positions. So that's a good effort. 12.5 minutes left on the clock. Technical flag going out again to the number 28, so didn't see it. Keep an eye on that one. Down the inside, though, goes the 24 on the 56. It's Mackenzie Douglas moving up on Ben Crossley, so good move there for 3rd place as they go through. Again, they're getting these overtakes done early so they can get into a position and then kind of go for it. And down the inside, moving up into the lead. And is that potentially an issue for the 16 of Stephen Duncan, because absolutely stationary there out of the first corner. Harry Linden with the fastest lap of the race, 53.270 in the GP plates, now in the lead. But that was a bit of a nightmare for Stephen Duncan there. Not sure what happened going into turn 1.
Yeah, not quite too sure what happened there for Stephen Duncan, but it does mean that the GP plate of Harry Linden is able to get into the lead, and also the driver behind of Max, I think that's Mackenzie Douglas, who was made up into 2nd position, past Stephen Duncan as well. Don't quite know what happened there, but still, Harry Linden into the lead. He'll take anything he can. Yes,
very good effort. Mackenzie Douglas got past at the same point as Harry Linden through turn 1, so it was like, not sure what happened to Stephen Duncan through turn 1. And again, down there, the 24 getting past now the GP plate. So Mackenzie Douglas now up into 1st place. Harry Linden moving down into 2nd. Mackenzie Douglas, though, with the fastest lap of the race as well that time around, 52.970. Down the inside goes the 16 of Stephen Duncan. So back up into 2nd place. So clearly all is well with the kart, so not sure what happened at turn 1 when he lost 2 positions. Maybe just a slight outbreak of himself running wide. Maybe all that was. But 10 minutes left to go on the race, but still jostling for positions in these top 6.
Yeah, lots of position changes going on during the within the top 6 currently. You can see a lot of the drivers just following in formation, trying to catch up to the leader of Mackenzie Douglas, who's currently leading the field by about half a second, but the drivers behind relentless to catch on to him.
Yeah, the sun breaks through the clouds there. You can see glinting on all the visors as they go through. Another fastest lap of the race from Mackenzie Douglas, 52.880. So out in front now with the clean air, pulling away. You can really see now that sun's come out, the dark clouds that are looming over the circuit. So yes, I think we could have a bit of a disaster going into maybe some of the finals. We want to try. Under 10 minutes to go though. Action still, the number 19 under braking down the inside of the 16 there. So Finn Smith moving past Steve Duncan up into 3rd place. Again, all while these are jostling, that's allowing Mackenzie Douglas to break away. Not so much, though, because, of course, Harry Linden's just behind in the GP plate, not letting Harry get away. Oh, and there it is, isn't it? What is that? He is struggling on the start-finish straight. You can see he just got absolutely overtaken there.
Yes.
So there is a problem with Stephen Duncan's kart. He is not getting the power on the start-finish straight and is being absolutely swamped. It's fine through the corners, it seems to be fine there, but just at the top end, it just hasn't got that top end at the end of the straight.
Yeah, maybe a loss of power at the top end of his motor, or just people have it tuned up so they have a lot more top speed than him. But if you do look at the lap times compared to him, he is a little bit slower on the lap times than the drivers around him.
Yep, Now, of course, that'll be all going in towards turn 1, of course, but yeah, the 24 in the GP now breaking away nose to tail. Douglas and Linden. Then it's Smith, Duncan, Crossley, Crowther, the top 6 as they break away. And they slot into position, still going through. And you can see there in the background, Stephen Duncan trying to get his kart to keep pushing on. So we switch to nice shot here as they're going through the flanks there. Ben Crossley, fastest lap of the race. In 4th place, so he's going to want to try and close him in. You can see that he's closing in as well. So that gap is closing up. But these drivers, again, just nose to tail. They're in the spot now where it's just single file, follow the leader, try and open up the gaps, and then they'll battle later. Oh, I say that. No, I'm completely wrong. There you go. What are you talking about? No, they're not. They're going for the move. Harry Linden back down the inside.
Yeah, Harry Linden now into the lead, the GP plate going up into P1. But yeah, normally this is the stage of the race where the drivers tuck in behind each other and work together to try and pull a gap. Towards the end of the race, they normally have around a 2-second gap, so they can actually battle properly without worrying about the driver behind catching.
Yeah, you kind of only want it to be 2 karts, don't you? In front, you just want me and the other person. But yeah, it looks like it's got 2 groups of 2 here. Back down the inside, though, goes Mackenzie Douglas. And every time one of those moves happen, you can see there, it's now a group of 4. It was 2 groups of 2, now 1 group of 4. So here we go then. 16 wheels working together to try and break away from the rest of the karts. Down the inside again goes Harry Linden, tries to do it, can't quite do it, gets the 24, cuts across the front nose cone, and keeps it going. All still attached and all still looks like it's in the correct place, but over the start-finish line again. 8 laps completed. We're on lap 9 now, 7 minutes remaining on the timer through turn 1. Absolutely nose to tail these top 4. Dan Holland Racing, Coles Racing, then it's Team Clay Racing, and then Vision Motorsports. So 4 different karts and 4 different teams, all nose to tail.
Yeah, it just shows the caliber of driving. Harry Linden up the inside again. It looks like these center S's are a great place for an overtake, because Harry Linden and Mackenzie Douglas are always swapping positions through these center S's. I think one of them should take the hint to go a little bit tighter, maybe. But talking about going tighter in the hairpins, that does mean that Mackenzie Douglas gets through, and the number 19 of Finn Smith is going to have a little look, but cannot make anything stick.
Yeah, no, that was a very, I think, late-minute design move there from Mackenzie Douglas there in the 24. Absolutely sent it down the inside, sideways under braking. Managed to get the kart stopped, but at the expense of Harry Linden, who slightly got pushed out wide, but still holding on to that 2nd place spot. So Mackenzie still leading from Harry, from Finn, from Ben. These top 4 here as they're going through. 5.5 minutes remaining on the session. Lap 11 that we are on. Up the hill now at the back straight. Here's a look further behind. And under braking again, slightly squirrely, slightly sideways, and holding on to that one as there we go. My timing screen is updating on my laptop, so I'll keep an eye on that one. But these 4 still braking away.
Yeah, the drivers at the front of the pack managing to break away from the drivers behind. As you can see, you've got Mackenzie Douglas, Harry Linden, Finn Smith, and final driver in that pack is going to be Ben Crossley, and then you've got about a 2-second gap to the driver behind, which is Harrison Crover. I don't know how to pronounce that name, but still Mackenzie Douglas out in the lead. But I wouldn't be surprised if Harry Linden tries to make a move sometime soon. Yes,
it's still very close there, and yeah, with these 4 battling away, yeah, as you say, the 5th place man, Harrison Crowther there, trying to close that gap in to the drivers, very likely to happen. Stephen Duncan still doing well, 6th place, despite the issue that he is nursing with that kart out on track with the top end. So still, in fact, he's in 6th place, holding on to that one, doing a stellar job. Alfie Gallagher in 7th place as well. In fact, KR Sport is up 8 positions from his original spot. As the rest of the field go through. Pearson Bullock Carter in 9th place, Chloe Chong in 10th, Mason Perrin in 11th place, Aaron Full in 12th place, And it's been Collins in 13th, Vinny Watson in 14th. We did lose Johnny Lawrence in the number 28. Obviously, that was a technical flag. And best lap of the race, Chloe Chong in the number 18 in 10th place. So, despite being in the traffic, setting the faster times.
Yeah, that's a great lap time from Chloe Chong. Even though she's still down in 10th, she is showing that she still has the pace to be up at the front. But talking about up at the front, Harry Linden hasn't managed to make a move yet, which I'm surprised at. Maybe he's learned from his mistakes and he's trying to pull away from that group again. But now that they're on the back of them, it doesn't look like they're going anywhere.
No, they're just staying in a nose-to-tail formation, is what it looks like as they go through the first couple of corners round Dogleg now in towards St John's. And again, got to watch out for that bump on that curb on the exit. You can see a couple of them hitting it and bottoming out the suspension. Chloe Chong again, another fastest lap of the race in the number 18, 52.130. So again, great effort there. Less than 3 minutes on the clock then, as these top four, this breakaway now starting to split up into, again, another 2x2. So as we've seen that a lot in previous rounds, where it's 2x2x2 all the way through the field. But yeah, just here, it's just the top four that we've got in that sort of section. They're closing up again as they go back onto the start-finish straight. Fastest lap that time around was Finn Smith in third place, 52.12. So again, that gap that just opened up, he closed that straight away, got the fastest time as well. That's going to give him good confidence going into these last few moments as they enter the final of this race, because of course to go for those overtakes. Just 2 minutes left on the clock as they go side by side, the GP plate and the 24 again. And that's Linden trying to get down the inside, couldn't quite do it. So Douglas still leading the way from Linden, then Smith, then Crossley. As they go through, up the back straight, under braking, down the inside goes Harry Linden, gets the job done. Douglas goes wide, now is under pressure from Finn Smith. Finn tries to go down the inside here, no, stays behind into the final corner. And again, looks like he tried to go down the inside there, couldn't quite do it. So now leading the way across the line, the GP plate, Harry Linden, then it's Douglas, then Smith, then Crossley. Crowther crosses the line in fifth place, slowly closing in on these drivers battling. Now, that's allowed Linden to get a little bit of a breakaway now. 0.4 of a second he's got from Douglas and Smith, who are now close together. That's a Pearson Bullock Carter getting a warning flag as well in the number 15th in 8th place. So got to watch out there. But again, only a warning flag, nothing too much to worry about. Just over a minute to go, less than 90 seconds on the timer, and then we'll see the last lap board. All the drivers hitting that inside curb. You can see how stiff the chassis is as they go through. Into now Gasworks Bend. Everyone's staying single file, no moves being done this time around. Of course, they're going to cross the line. They won't see the last lap board this time. They probably won't see it next time either. So still a couple of laps to go. Cross the line. Starting now lap 17. 16 laps completed for these drivers as they go through. 40 seconds left on the timer with race times of 52 seconds. So they're actually probably going to see the last lap board this time around. So it looks like we're on the penultimate lap as we go through. So obviously these drivers will know that, and they're going to want to try and close in as best as possible. And of course, keep an eye on fifth place of Harrison Crowther again, closing in on these drivers as they go through. That is the 19 of Finn Smith, moving up in front of Ben Crossley again, I believe it was. So Ben Crossley managed to get past. Finn responds, comes straight back. The GP plate, Harry Linden going defensive. The 24, Mackenzie Douglas taking the optimal line though, now right behind, looking down potentially the inside through Horseshoe. Can't quite do anything here into the final corner. Paddock Bend again takes the Optimum Racing line now onto the back straight. Harry has a big look over his shoulder there, goes defensive, round the outside now. Douglas side by side, who's going to break later? And it's going to be Harry Linden who holds on to that one through turn one. So Linden from Douglas, Smith, then Crossley as they go through. Now two groups of two, they manage to break away from each other. As we go into St John's, the GP plate again going defensive and in towards the centre S. Again, defensive from Harry Linden. Mackenzie Douglas having to take the long way around. There's a bit of contact there as well as they tried to get the switchback move, and that's put now Douglas under pressure from Smith and Crossley behind as well in third and fourth. Now that's allowed Linden to break away, sees the gap, doesn't have to go defensive through the Gasworks Bend. It's looking plain sailing for Harry Linden, but all eyes still on that third and second place spot as they head through the final corner. Linden's going to take the checkered flag, though, from Douglas and Smith. It stays in that order as they go through. Ben Crosley takes the checkered flag for 4th place. Harrison Crowther crosses the line in 5th. Alfie Gallagher in 6th place. Then it's Stephen Duncan who crosses the line in 7th place, despite nursing that broken kart. Pearson Bullock Carter crosses the line in 8th place. Chloe Chong in 9th. And then it's Cruz Speakman rounding out the top 10. Bryn Collins crosses the line in 11th place. Mason Perrin in 12th place, Finley Watson in 13th, and Aaron Full in 14th place. Jai Lawrence not finishing the race, though, in 15th place. So there is your Minimax winner, Harry Linden. The Dan Holland Racing there. 18 laps completed. A fantastic effort from the drivers there. Very close and clean racing from the Minimax there for their final here at Warden Law. There's the rest of the order appearing on the screen as the drivers now start to filter their way into the pit lane. And we'll get, hopefully, we'll get the next group out in just a moment, but before we head to the next grid, hopefully our man Kai is in the assembly area for a quick chat with our race winner, so hopefully we can get a word with them in just a moment. He's much quicker on his feet than me of getting to the other end of the paddock. I can't run, I'm very lazy, so I've decided to stay in the commentary box this time. So young Kai is doing a good effort for me today. So hopefully we'll get to chat to him in just a moment. Wind has died down now, so I'm not using a special tool. I think one of the cameramen sent me a message and said, oh, this is the tool you mean. I'll be like, I don't know how to pronounce that tool, so I'm just going to look at the flags and take the wind off the flags there. And it looks breezy. Looks breezy out there. No dark looming clouds closing in, though. Apparently rain may have been on the cards. Ooh, actually, it does look a bit dodgy out the back window of where I'm commentating from. But we'll see if that can hold off for finals. We're on now to the Rotax 177 finals in just a moment. They're due to kick off at about 4 o'clock, which again, 10 minutes time. So hopefully Kai is ready down there for a quick chat. Just waiting to see what happens. So again, do keep your comments coming in on the stream. We would love to hear from you. Oh, actually, apparently we're good in the pit lane. So, Kai, who have you got down there? Hopefully our race winner.
So, Harry, a great win. Mackenzie was leading the majority of the race. You switched in positions throughout the whole thing as well, but you managed to get into the lead going into the final lap and managed to defend them off. Talk me through the final lap.
Well, the final lap was just all about defending and hanging on to the win.
How difficult was it to take that win from such a competitive field and coping with the pressure from the drivers behind?
Well, then we were all within tenths. It was just never came out on top, really.
And how much pressure were you feeling from the drivers behind?
Yeah, there was quite a lot of pressure. Tough race.
Well, Harry, well done on the win and good luck going forwards.
Thank you.
So, Mackenzie, you led most of the race. You and Harry were switching positions. You drove really well throughout the whole race, but unfortunately you had to settle for second. Talk us through how you were feeling and what you were thinking.
Well, yeah, at the start of the race, I started P4, and my main aim was just to get to the front, see how fast I could get to the front. And then once I got there, I tried to keep it as long as I could. I had a gap, but then Linden caught me up, passed me, and it was switching positions the rest of the race, trying to stay in front.
And what do you think was the main challenge throughout that whole race?
Just try, like when you got in front, just trying to keep that gap. That was really difficult, especially with the whole pack working together behind you.
You drove really well throughout the whole race. Well done, and congrats on P2.
Right then, pay attention front and centre. Fingers on lips. Here we go. Minimax then, podium time. Finishing 12th place overall, the number 12, finishing 11th place overall. The Privateer Trophy. Round of applause, please, for Bryn Collins. And then again, our rookies on the podium, so we'll wait for that in just a moment. Then in third place, big round of applause for Team Plays Racing. Third place, Finn Smith. Get his good side. There we go. Excellent. Second place then, Coles Racing. Huge round of applause for Mackenzie Douglas. Awesome. Right then. So on to our another double trophy. Going over 2 trophies. This is good. First place then, the GP plate for Dan Holland Racing, Harry Linden. Excellent stuff. Again, Harry, before your arms get too tired, we'll have a quick word with you. Harry, again, a fantastic race, won law, 2 trophies, best rookie, and of course, first place in the final. A fantastic day for you, and again, for the team, it must be a good win for you.
Yeah, it was a really tough, close race, but managed to get the victory.
Yeah, and of course, coming from Lyd as well, a completely different circuit. Again, another flat circuit, but we went from the south to the north. A big difference in temperature as well, but again, great performance from you all weekend.
Yeah, I'd like to thank my dad, Dave, on the spanners, and the whole of Dan Ireland.
Yeah, they're a crazy bunch over there, aren't they? Yeah, they are. Excellent. Your top podium winners for Minimax.